welcome to this general timeless pick a card reading. For pile 1, we have Shatael, Angel of Silence, in this blue kyanite. For pile 2, we have Chesed, Angel of Empathy, and this beautiful smoky quartz. And then for pile 3, we have Sahakiel, Angel of the Sky, with this Shiva Lingam. So take a moment to see which pile, if any, or perhaps more than one, you are drawn to, and then you can skip ahead to that reading. Okay, pile 1, let's take a moment to breathe and ground, connect, and we open to highest wisdom to come through at this time to assist anybody drawn to this pile on their path and their highest good, for healing, for evolution, for positive progression. All right. Ooh. There's you. The Strength card, influence on you, 10 of Pentacles. Very positive start. Recent past. King of Wands. Near future. The Lovers. Influences from above, our spirit. 7 of Pentacles. Influences from below. 3 of Cups. Okay. So let's start with Shatael, Angel of Silence. Words fail, the wind dies, the earth comes to rest. Shatael descends in stillness. New forms for all things emerge, touched by the elusive fingers of the angel Shatael. Space fills with silence, and void gains new meaning. We are held still by the grip of its presence. Take a moment, take the silence within you, and use it to still the tremors of your soul. Shatael wills it, and the signs from Shatael are a feather, a chair, a person kneeling. And it feels like just by tapping into this reading right now, and maybe some other mindful activities, you are tapping into sweet moments of silence and rest in what seems like has been perhaps a busy period for you. So what led you up to this moment and what is influencing you at this moment, for the most part, is very positive. Fruits of recent labor and passion, labors of love. It seems like you have worked really hard, or someone very close to you that supports you has worked really hard recently to build an empire that involves a lot of determination, maybe some real passion and excitement around projects, and sometimes that drive feels like it has been a bit overwhelming, or maybe burning the candle at both ends, but it has led you to this wonderful place of abundance, this 10 of Pentacles, with solid foundation overall, though I do see that there are some gaps or questions, which makes sense because you're coming to a pick a card reading now. But you are in a place of courage. I'm really getting Kuan Yin, the Bodhisattva of compassion, coming through this beautiful card. I'm really noticing the flowers. It feels like a victory, that you have come to some place, reached a victory in your life that has brought you confidence and also wisdom and solidness and compassion for others that may not be where you're at. So maybe you had to work really hard, or there were sacrifices made. Not sure if that's true, but definitely had to work really hard to get where you're at, and you know what it was like before that. So you are from above, you're receiving gifts and patience and silence. And from below, there's celebration with other loved ones. It feels like others have worked with you or are celebrating with you. And then the near future is the Lover, so there may be a choice to make. So I feel that that is speaking to this external influence card, the Five of Pentacles. So this could be a person or another energy in your life or a situation kind of coming in. And this card feels somewhat at odds with the rest of this bounty and hard work and responsibility and celebration and patience, courage. So this external influence, there's some scarcity. So perhaps this is a person in your life that you are considering whether or not to deepen a relationship or reconnect or support, and they have more struggles than you at this time. And maybe you have worked to get yourself out of these struggles. Maybe this is someone from your past and you have progressed and they are in a slump right now. Or they're just having scarcity monetarily or scarcity of health. And it feels like there's a question for you of if you want to, how much you want to engage, and maybe a concern or a fear of whether they would bring you down with them or whether you have the extra resources to spare for that. Though you are coming from a place of compassion, so it is a drive of yours to support this person or to kind of fold in the situation if maybe it's a work situation or a new challenge you might take on that you might be draining. You're not sure. So the recommended course of action is the reverse Six of Cups. So this could have to do with regret, family, over time, forgiveness. So the recommended course does feel like it is good to forgive or have compassion for this person or situation, and to be understanding and really draw upon that strength aspect. And this also could say rely on your family. So perhaps this is an estranged or struggling family member, and this is advising you to realize there are other people in your family that can also help, and maybe together you can forgive this person. Or maybe if this was a past romantic relationship, because we do have the Lovers here, if this is a past romantic relationship, maybe it's just really helpful for you to forgive that person in your heart, and then that will help you move on. And maybe even have a little bit of reconnection, though likely I don't see you wanting to take on that whole burden of kind of resuscitating that person's energy and helping them find passion for life. But it could just be sweet connection and forgiveness and a little bit of time with them. And then I do see you, if that was the case, kind of going off on your own again, as being able to go stand on your own 2 feet, even more abundant than in the past, and to really see that you have amazing resources and abundance that you've built up, and you can rest on your laurels to some degree. So you do have the strength and ability and compassion to open your heart to this person, to forgive them, to reconnect a little bit. Though boundaries are good, you will make a decision in the near future how much to connect with them. though I'm really drawn to this space in between these two hands. And it seems like this person's kind of reaching and this person's saying, oh, maybe, but I'm also on my own 2 feet and I'm more focused on my mission, my spiritual path, my garden, cultivating all the things that I have worked on and celebrating with my other friends and feeling lots of other support. So that feels like a complete story. If it is perhaps a job or a situation that feels a little draining, maybe it's a job you had in the past or a living situation that you're considering, or even could be even a stray animal that needs help. There's lots of ways this could manifest. It does feel like taking some silence, taking some time to think about it and being open to it and understanding of it will allow you to come to the resolution you need. Either way, as long as you can open your heart and forgive and allow your cup to keep being filled without draining yourself as a sacrifice or in martyrdom to this energy, you will come out stronger. So I feel like you can kind of decide this might be a less potent energy. So if it's just like a little stray cat that you are going to take in and it's going to be inside and outside, it'll be low impact, that feels like that's fine and it doesn't drain on you too much. But if it is something or somebody that's going to take up a majority of your time, it might be something that you pass up unless you can really revolutionize your relationship to it. I am drawn to seeing this little bird on this person's hat. So I'm feeling a little bit of this caretaker vibe that maybe it's just a little friend that can come visit you sometimes or you can connect with sometimes, but doesn't have to be your life will not revolve around it. And if this was a family member or relationship, your life might have revolved around them more in the past. You might have felt more drawn in the past. And you're moving away from that. So I feel called to get a couple clarifying cards from this lovely deck. Unique gifts. And the portal keeper. Oh, one more wants to come. Shine your light. So this card is about your own superpowers, sense of purpose, exploring your interests. And the question is, what makes you unique? Any quirks that you feel are shortcomings could be the key to your superpowers. Look for the positive sides of your oddities and traits. How would you like to spend more time? Are there things you would like to try or feel a pull to explore? Now is the time to follow these whispers. You never know how transformational they might be. I feel that this is speaking to, rearrange a little bit, these cards here, developing skill, and then having been in the King of Wands energy or having benefited from the King of Wands energy recently, kind of keeping that going, finding new passions and new excitement to keep pulling you forward. And maybe there have been energies that this relates to that felt more judgmental or kind of kept you more in a box or kept you making yourself a bit smaller. And then this is an answer to that, to shine your light. That's the third one I got. So I'll do this portal keeper next. And we'll see where that fits in. Unique gateways to mystical experiences, psychic ability, raising your vibration. And the divinatory meaning is gently explore the edges of your reality. Spend time in the forest to listen. And so that speaks to this angel of silence. These two are asking for meditative moments, go time outside, deepen your meditation practice, dance yourself into ecstasy, explore psychic tools, and study new healing modalities. If you feel lacking in purpose or life seems a little mundane, remember there is never a reason to be bored. What we experience with our physical senses is just the tip of the iceberg. Magic exists wherever you care to find it. Look between the lines to limitless discovery. So I feel a lot of beautiful potential in these two cards, and it does feel that you are doing that, and this is affirmation that that is good for you to do, to keep seeking these moments of meditation, of going outside, of unplugging, of taking a break, of tapping back into what makes you really happy. Maybe you have an art or craft or little activity that some people act like is silly, or you think people might think is silly, but that really helps you connect to your true self. And then that all brings you to shining your light, which feels very apt. Doing what you love, time to thrive, giving from the overflow, life purpose, being authentically you, compassionate self-empowerment, loving life, trying things you resonate with, bringing joy to others by being an inspiration. The question is, where can you shine your light? When you have purpose, you will also have limitless energy and no joy. So then that energy helps overflow so that you do have space to forgive others or share your energy and connect with others, or even, deal with more challenging or draining or scarcity-based situations with grace. You are a sovereign being. Regain compassionate empowerment and remember what lights up your world. Lovely. So, looking overall, with the overall reading, we have a couple major arcana. We have Strength in the Lovers. We have our King of Pentacles as a court card, then several other really positive pentacles far along. So the 10 of Pentacles, 7, 9, and then we have our more challenging pentacle here with the 5 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of earth in this reading, and it feels like this is more the challenge to overcome this external influence. And these bring in abundance and resting on your laurels, having put your fire and your own internal flame to work to build things. And then you can be in celebration with others. All right. Hope you enjoyed your reading, pile 1. And I hope you find many beautiful things to apply your unique gifts to enjoy some time of silence or contemplation so that you may shine your beautiful, beautiful light even stronger. Congratulations on all the hard work that's got you to where you are. You are really ready to re-engage with challenges that in the past might have really drained you, but you're ready to re-engage from a place of strength and power and abundance, knowing that you can walk through and walk away, standing on your own feet and feeling in this energy of celebration, able to shine your light. Nice job. Have a wonderful day. Blessings. Hi, pile 2. So this is the pile of the smoky quartz and Chesed, the empathy archangel. Take a moment to ground and ask that highest wisdom comes through for pile 2, enabling them to heal and progress on their path and their highest good and for the highest good of all beings. So the card representing you, the querent, is Knight of Wands. Influence on you, 2 of Pentacles, a choice. Recent past, we have the Queen of Pentacles. near future. 5 of Wands. Wands and Pentacles so far. Influences from above. 6 of Swords from below. 8 of Pentacles. An external influence might be a person or a situation. King of Pentacles. Recommended course of action. 5 of Pentacles. And likely outcome, we have Judgment. Okay, let's start with this interesting Archangel card here. These are constructed archangels by this artist. So, Chesed, the hand that embraces. The healing tears brought on by the forgiveness of sins. Each kindness repaid in kind. Chesed's force pulls humanity together, allowing peace to exist between us. This is the power to look inside the hearts of those around us and see that we are truly alike. Our need for love and kindness is an essential part of our existence and transcends all other differences we might have. Chesed is at the very center of the pillar of mercy, defining its core characteristic and forming an extreme opposite to its female counterpart. The 2 arms of the tree extend in opposite directions: kindness, charity, and love. Okay, that's interesting. I feel a little echo I was picking up from these cards of maybe a bit of dealing with imposter syndrome and the need to come to terms in yourself with believing in yourself and knowing that you are skilled, developing skills that you know you still need to work on, and then giving yourself permission to be you and do the things that you want to do. Still find a way to balance that with abundance. This is also speaking to this 2 of Pentacles card in the balancing act of that. And something about the way this Archangel is holding this, I don't know, moon or something, is reminiscent of this card to me. So I'm seeing parallel in the crossed hands and the infinity symbol here. So this card represents you, the Knight of Wands, and it feels like at this moment you are full of passion and excitement and energy and rushing forward, and perhaps that is fueled by a recent past where there was sort of nurturing, grounding, healing behavior, maybe some quality time with animals and like loved pets, loved ones, maybe a little bit of a break from more to-do lists, or maybe just like I feel like that you're coming from some sort of energy of a healing rest. Maybe it was a really good night's sleep, or it could have been a vacation, or it could have been a longer break, or a deeper healing. But that has fueled you so that you're ready to go forward with excitement. And then I do feel there's a draw to continue to ground that and balance that with other elements as well. So an influence on you right now feels like this need to juggle both the restful phase and the excited moving forward phase, and the need to really integrate that equilibrium and figure out how to continue that balance. What tools do you bring from this so that you can use this energy and channel it without burning the candle at both ends, or like working yourself dry, working yourself to the bone, and then needing this again. How can you kind of continue to balance that? That's something that most of us are working with in today's day and age. How can we have equilibrium? How can we have balance? How can we weave in the different threads of personal life, home life, our own self-care, making money, being creative, going out and socializing, just all these different facets of ourselves. But especially I'm seeing the dual facets of rest, recovery. This is recovery as well. Rejuvenation, feeling luxury, just feeling calm, having sweet cuddle time with animals that you don't have to get anything done except that is what you're getting done. And moving forward with excitement and having this drive and energy and motivation for productivity and new adventures. So from above, Spirit is bringing in more thoughtful progression. This is more of the body, of the earth, of the moment. This is more of energy, of forward movement and kind of raging forward. And then this is kind of thinking things out as well. Well, swords itself is the air element is more intellect, thinking, planning. This is going across the transition, kind of crossing some sort of gap. And maybe that's a maturing process, or stepping from one phase of life to another, or one sort of line of work or certain situation you've been in and sort of graduating on with some spiritual or maturity component to it. And then from below, we're getting this need, what your subconscious is calling you and your body is calling you to spend time mastering a skill, whether or not it's something that others approve of or are encouraging you to do. There's maybe a skill or a language to learn, or a project that is calling to you. Maybe you've already begun it, and maybe you already have a lot of skill in that area, but continuing to work with that will ground you through this process of crossing over and transition and spiritual healing. And then that helps you channel some of this energy as well. In the near future, there is finding ways to work with others, maybe being pushed or feeling judged by others, maybe having a little bit of too many cooks in the kitchen feeling, or just feeling like others are paying a lot of attention to you in a way that you don't appreciate. And then I see external influences coming in. The King of Pentacles energy, it feels like maybe this represents a person in your life, counterpart to the Queen of Pentacles, that is mature, has some masculine traits, which most of us do, and abundant, maybe is more stable. This could be a father figure, or it could be part of yourself. Or what I'm picking up is, for a lot of you, this is like pressure to make money, maybe with a certain career path. Maybe you've had a job that you left or you want to leave that has been good at least paying the bills. Or maybe you're feeling pressure to go a certain route that maybe doesn't quite feel all you. Or maybe there's there's a skill that you want to apply that you have a bit of imposter syndrome around. So you're kind of tentative to put yourself out there in that way, saying that you have that skill or have the ability to work that job, even if you feel called to it. What I'm getting from the Five of Pentacles, which this is the recommended course of action. So this can be more of a scarcity card. In this case, I'm kind of feeling of a scarcity of self-confidence around it. And I feel like it's speaking back to this skill, not being sure of yourself around this skill. So the course of action would be to continue working on this skill and strengthening your own inner resolve and building your own self-confidence by actually doing the thing, whatever the thing is. Something around work or skill, I believe, or, learning like a language, which is a skill too, so that you can feel confident and move forward with it. And then the final outcome, which might not be too far in the future, maybe within 3 years I'm getting, and then this would probably be within a few months to less than a year probably, when you're encountering conflict with people, or it's kind of needing to prove yourself and stick up for yourself, or just allowing other people to have their opinions and It doesn't really matter. As RuPaul says, if they ain't paying your bills, pay them no mind. So it might be some coworker energy or people on social media or something that have some strong opinions about you and whether or not you're capable, or maybe it's your own inner saboteur, your own inner voices that have opinions. I'm getting that a lot of those opinions are not really worth listening to. And then the remedy is to ignore it, find a coping mechanism for just kind of pushing up those opinions, even if it's some of your own opinions aside, and really strengthening that skill so that you can move forward with it and progress, so that you do find yourself in a place of self-acceptance and judging yourself to be powerful and skilled in that area. So interesting reading. Yeah, it does all seem to kind of dial back to this skill and channeling energy into that. Let's pull a few Beyond Lemuria cards to clarify the whole situation. Heart chakra. Throat chakra, 2 chakras. And earth. Feeling one more. Life force energy. Interesting. Yeah, I'm really feeling that this earth card, I was really getting Mother Earth from this Queen of Pentacles. So that was recent past. And yeah, I see a lot of similarities here. I'll hold this up. I'm just seeing parallels there. Maybe it's just my eye, but I see some symmetries between these two. So this is recent past, but since they're so positive, it really feels like the objective, and then we have this balance too in the middle of recent past, near future, and above and below. I feel like this balance is balancing all these different things, or that's a good thing to work on. That's something that you're working on, is balancing all these things. So how can you bring this nurturing that you might have experienced in the recent past, or healing, or quality animal time, rest, really good sleep, just maybe you just drank enough water today, whatever it is, how can you continue to bring that in and amplify that without feeling overwhelmed and having time to do these other things, work on your skills and do whatever else you want to do in your life. And then our chakras, heart, which is right below throat. So really spending some time in self-love. And what I'm getting from throat chakra is expressing yourself. Again, I keep picking up on learning a new language. So that would be that, and like practicing that language, or just trusting yourself enough to try. And that's how we get better at a language, and or music too. Music can be thought of as a language, or a lot of creative mediums can be thought of as a language. So just kind of doing it, putting yourself out there, as long as you're allowing it to come from the heart or come from somewhere within you, you can rest assured that it's not imposter syndrome. You're being true to yourself. You're expressing your own truth, and from a place of love. And especially if it is a skill that involves making something, or working with plants, or speaking a language, connecting people, culture, so many of our skills are just positive gifts to the world, right? So whether or not we are the best at it, or, we're as unique or cultured at it as somebody else, it doesn't matter. We're just bringing these beautiful gifts to the world. And that's what matters, is expressing your truth from your heart to the world. And that's the best thing that we can do in our lives, really, is offer our own unique gifts to the world the best we can. And maybe it's similar to somebody else's, or somebody else thinks it's not as good as another thing. But the more plants, the better. The more music, the better. The more art, the better. The more people that speak different languages a little bit and try, the better. The more we build community with each other, the better. So speaking from your heart, and really feel free to express that, and just keep working with that. And then life force energy. So that feels like you right now, that maybe you have this more energy than you've had in a while. And And it's a great thing to channel that and move forward. This is a really beautiful card. These are all really beautiful cards. So just take that in, and cultivating your own life force and taking healing time that you need. That's really important work as well. The more we can do that, the better. The more we can do self-care. So here's all the cards spread out so you can see. I hope that was helpful or interesting, relevant for you. And hope you have a blessed day. Take care. Pile 2 blessings. Pile 3, hello. You picked Sahakiel, Angel of the Sky, and this beautiful Shiva Lingam stone, river stone, with this very cool pan type of shape there, that was rolling all over in the intro. So we'll see if it will sit that way. All right. So let's take a moment. Breathe in center, and we invite in guidance and the highest good from pile 3's higher self, bringing them wisdom, healing that allows them to progress and evolve on their path and their highest good, for the highest good of all beings. Thank you. Here is your card, King of Wands. Oh, 5 of Cups has influence over you. Recent past. 7 of Cups in reverse, near future. 9 of Swords. And below influences. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Above influences. 6 of Wands in reverse. Okay, external influence. It could be a person, a situation, an energy. Ace of Swords. Recommended course of action. The Star and Shadow. Ooh, and outcome. Final outcome. King of Pentacles. Okay. Let's breathe with this. Feels like a great time to overcome some tendencies to get in your head, maybe some disappointments or feelings of missed opportunity, and shift to a mindset of abundance, of grace, of perspective. Realizing we are all so important and yet so small, and what seems large in the moment, in the grand scheme of things, is not. It's not everything. There's always alternatives. There's always hope. There's always change. This too shall pass. So your Archangel Sahakiel, Angel of the Sky. Let's take a look. These are interesting cards created by an artist. So these are just made up archangels from his imagination. So this is the shield bearer and the gatekeeper who stands outside the gateway between Angelarium and the expanse of existence, a benevolent figure whose compassion knows no bound or equal. Sahakiel blesses and protects, shielding us from storm and fire alike. The sky forms a ring around the earth many times over. Its movement forms the clouds, obscures the sun, and reminds us that Sahakiel stands guard. So the signs are a shield, a ring, a blessing hand, and I feel that this energy is coming through to bless you and remind you that the sky is almost beyond our comprehension. It's so large. And then beyond that is the multiverse, which is definitely beyond our comprehension. I like how this Shiva Lingam ended up between these two figures on the tapestry here. Very interesting. So, King of Wands, this is you. This is mastery. This is a passionate person who has a lot of drive and who is a visionary and a success. And maybe you've had a lot of success in the past, but it feels like the recent past, there has been some disappointment. So maybe you had a heartbreak. Maybe you lost someone very dear to you. Maybe you feel like you made the wrong choice, or you did your best to make a good choice and that choice just didn't work out for some reason. Or maybe you were hoping someone would choose you for a relationship or a job or something like that, and they didn't. And it's hard for you to believe right now that was for the best. Maybe it's a struggle. So from below, from your subconscious, we're having this energy of kind of clinging on to resources, or maybe a bit of clinging to the past. So this feels like a message to move forward and rest in the opposite, which is a feeling of generosity, a feeling of you have more than enough, so you have enough to share. Maybe it's good medicine to give something away if you are feeling like you don't have enough. And then that shifts us more into that vibration of abundance. When we believe, like we believe we have enough and we act as though we have enough. It doesn't mean be too cavalier or reckless with belongings, but most of us do have more than enough in this society to survive. So if there is something you can share, even if it's your time too, if you can share your time with somebody that would appreciate it, that's really good medicine for that below influence. That might be tugging on your root chakra a little bit. Just this concern of, oh, where will I live? Or how can I pay for this? Or do I have enough material belongings? Or being ungrounded? Or do you have enough love, maybe? So working on turning this on its head. And then we want to turn from above, we want to turn the Six of Wands into success. So we want to flip that upside down as well. So from above, from Spirit, Spirit would like you to reconsider maybe internalized belief that you fell from grace, or somehow you failed, or you didn't see eye to eye about something. So a lot of these cards are speaking to there's something in the recent past that didn't go as planned or as hoped, and maybe it had felt for a minute like you had lots of great options and then they all crumbled, they all fell apart, or you chose one and that one didn't work out. So Spirit would like you to find a way to shift your focus and think about how maybe you did avert something that wouldn't have been the best, or however it helps you to see it. Maybe it's something that will help you grow, help you open your heart, help you be more vulnerable. In the near future, there's really coming up against the wall with intrusive or anxiety-based thoughts or fears that keep you up awake at night. So that also is a great opportunity to shift your mindset, to find tools like meditation, or if I find myself in this energy, I often do turn on a pick a card reading in bed, or like a healing vibration video, and that is comforting to me to listen to, that higher vibration. Or maybe if it does happen to you literally in bed, maybe it's just time to get up and do something focused toward your goals, or just something that you enjoy, that's restful and happy to you. And just keep practicing on shifting the mindset. Meditation really and breath work, things like that, and exercise really do help us shift these difficult thoughts. I know this from experience, and I know that it's helped me so much to gain this perspective and realize even if I feel things are pretty rough for me, I'm just there's such a small part of my life, and then I have gotten over those things, again and again. I've gotten through hard things in my life, and things have gotten so great, and I'm so glad I didn't give up or just give in or allow those thoughts to take over. I kept working to make new neural pathways in my brain so that I could be thinking thoughts of success. I could be thinking thoughts of abundance. Even if we feel lonely, we can just imagine that feeling of being with someone we care about or being with an animal we care about, and really feed that feeling, really feel the way we want to feel. Because we can make that choice, right? We can choose to have a feeling that we desire, whether or not the stimulus is there, whether or not we have made choices or been given the cup full of whatever we think it is that's going to bring us love, connection, abundance, success. Our feelings are so much in our mind, and our thoughts are literally in our mind. They're just our thoughts. It's all in the mind. So this card, even though it seems so brutal, and I had such a hard reaction to this card for years, I've come to realize, but this is in the mind. This person is just in their mind, and they can get up and walk away from that wall of swords. They can lie back down and listen to a video that makes them happy and just picture warm light coming from their heart and remember a time when they felt really loved and connected and just really bathe in that energy. And that takes all the power away from this wall of swords, because that is an imaginary wall of swords. And it's interesting that this external influence is an Ace of Swords. So it's like the antidote. This is not going to be the antidote, but I'm getting that this is kind of the antidote to the Wall of Swords is one sword, which is, and then I feel like this is related to you as well. Like this is maybe an idea that comes from you. Like you have an idea or an epiphany around your situation, or around how you master your thoughts, how you can switch up your energy. You can just switch it up. You can switch up your mood. Because you do have these visionary qualities. You do have very sharp intellect and fiery passion and lots of inspiration. And so this external influence is maybe a thought, or maybe you read a book or see a video, or meet somebody that kind of gives you the seed that you need to start the strike of insight and have a new way of going about the world, of going about your life. Maybe it's a new meditation practice. I definitely have a bias around this, but I do feel like meditation is a great prescription for this reading. Then we have this recommended course of action, which is the star in reverse. So the star upright is healing. So we want to, in this case, again, I feel the draw to encourage you to get to that. And because the shadow seer is kind of a loss of faith or being disappointed again, or having despair. And so since these are not desirable qualities and they're not going to be recommended courses of action, it feels like a more active version of having hope. And that is really flipping upside down your despair, really flipping upside down these more challenging qualities to bring them upright and in their more positive aspects into your life. And then the final outcome is very positive. The King of Pentacles, resting on your laurels, feeling empowered. And that's interesting to go from King of Wands to King of Pentacles. Both are wise, empowered beings that have gone through and mastered a lot. And then the King of Pentacles is even more, may feel more nourished. We see that there's a lot more green around him. And he's holding the gold coin. So he has what he needs. This person's maybe looking a little intense, a little slender. Maybe they don't have much greenery. Maybe benefit from a nice grounding meal with family. And it feels like this King of Pentacles has access to that, has more than enough monetary wealth, manifested wealth, and is more grounded and calm. So that's a beautiful journey, really, to go from this character who is passionate and intense, but maybe feels misunderstood, feels disappointed, feels slighted by life, or rejected by some situation, or is rejecting a situation and just doesn't quite feel understood or connected, to travel through and change the feeling of like the self-limiting beliefs that there has been loss, or there has been insurmountable heartbreak, or just negative thoughts, changing that to a feeling of success or victory, saying, okay, well, I got through that and I'm going to move forward and I'm going to make it work. And I'm going to stop hoarding or feeling like I have to cling to everything I have, because that really brings bitterness. That really brings rigidity that is not desirable. So I'm going to be more generous with my time and feel that my cup is running over. And then maybe you are going to have you're going to have an epiphany around some bouts of negative thoughts that you have that can get dark, that can get really challenging, and realize that you can be clear of mind, and it is up to you to mind over matter and clear those thoughts out to make room for the more positive views of things. Same thing here. And bring in this, because this was upside down as well. Instead of feeling despair, feeling hope. So how can you change despair to hope? And that can just be replacement thought. Every time you start feeling despair, catch it and have a mantra, which is just like hope or healing, or whatever mantra calls to you. Maybe it's just like, I love myself, I am successful. Or maybe it's just some nonsense that just stops these negative thoughts. And then that brings you to a more grounded place. Okay, let's just pull a few of these lovely uplifting cards to round it out. This is actually a really beautiful journey. At first, I was feeling the heaviness and the challenge of some of those energies, but there's so much support for you. And this is what makes you evolve. This is what makes you into your higher self that can handle so much more. There are these challenges that polish off our rough edges and then force us to find the tools that we can use to progress. Wow. Yep, vulnerability. Yeah, definitely. That feels like a really good piece of advice. So it feels like it might be hard to hear or admit that, especially when I said like maybe you've been rejected, it feels like you don't want to feel like you've been rejected and kind of reject that idea that you would be or have ever been rejected. But that's our path to healing, right? Is allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and admit like, okay, that didn't go the way I hoped, or I was pretty sure of myself. I thought I had it all together and I was going to be here by now, like some certain place by now, or with this person, or have this kind of situation. And I don't. I was wrong. And I'm humbled by that. And then that's when we can blossom open. So we can blossom our heart open. And then these two lovely cards, which I would like to consult the book. Oh, we'll open right to our ancient future. Wisdom from indigenous peoples. I'm feeling like, especially Tibetan elders. Oh, and also I'm picking up on shamanic circles and shamanic healing, and Buddhist meditation. Those two paths. I mean, shamanic healing is not just one path. That's a lot of different cultures, but those two modalities feel very potent and powerful for you. Ancient remembering, how the past affects the future, a time to step up. That really resonates. A time to step up. It is time to step up in a new way. Maybe you've put a lot of effort and energy into a lot of the amazing skills and things you've accomplished, but your path is forcing you right now to see that you need to find a new way to step up as well. In addition to as other things you have offered and worked on, there's a new way to work with your mind and your perception of your life. Activations for powerful shifts. We are being called back to our roots to acknowledge the infinite wisdom available when we drop to our knees in humble receptivity. Wow, that's going right back to vulnerability. To move gracefully forward, we must first stand in our power for the places, ethics, and conservation of what matters most. Heal ourselves. This card, I'm going to hold it up so you can really take it in. This card is imbued with activations for a new paradigm. You are now being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. And sometimes when we're being showered with blessings, we don't feel it. We don't realize it. And sometimes blessings are challenges in our path that make us stronger, that make us grow, that are catalysts. Partake in activities that help you drop into a meditative state as often as possible. Use clearing tools, that's a great call, to raise your vibration and don't get caught up in the destination. Focus on the journey and experience. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will be your guide. So that was also speaking to something else that's really, really helped me with these kinds of thoughts, as I honestly did realize that sometimes when I'd have these kinds of moments, these Nine of Swords moments at night, when I would have a hard time sleeping and just have dark thoughts, I realized a lot of times that wasn't even mine, and I just needed to do an energy clearing. So one night I realized that, and I cleaned under my bed. I rearranged my bedroom. I brought some citrine in next to my bed. I brought in more lights into my bed because I had these dark corners that just kind of felt heavy. And now I monthly do cleansing rituals of my home and myself and protective rituals. So energetic hygiene can really work wonders when we get caught up with this. And so they were saying, there's something about clearing tools. So good energetic hygiene. I actually have an energetic hygiene video on my channel, just a few back from this one. And that's the kind of thing that I chant to myself. I might drum. I love having a fire of some kind. It could just be a candle, but a fire is nice. Saying I release any energy that does not belong to me. I call back all my energy in the highest healing vibration. So, and that's shamanic work, really. So that helps, and meditation helps. So I think I'm prescribing that for you. And I think they're good for everybody. But those tools of just releasing and cord cutting energy that is drawing you down, and you might not realize it is until you think about it. And then also calling your energy back. So soul retrieval and integration. And then meditating as well. Just simple Buddhist meditation or any kind of meditation. Realizing that these thoughts are just thoughts, and we can learn to control our thoughts. Okay, and then our last beautiful, beautiful card, which I think relates to temperance, and that's Row, harmonic flight. Seeing the divine in the eyes of another, relationships with deep bonds, karmic connection, clearing illusory projections, life-changing connection, removing heart armor, being seen, teamwork. This represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another, and our armor drops. So again, vulnerability. This shows that when we harmonize our energies with that of another in any form of relationship, we can soar to the sky. We can guide each other higher and higher by encouraging all that has been weighing us down to drop away. So there may or may not be someone in your life that you have tuned out a little bit or disconnected from that you could reconnect with. There may be someone from the past that feels a little bit heartbreaky that they're not there. Maybe you can still do this work by just appreciating them and finding a way to love them and forgive them, even if you're in no contact. That would be really healing, especially if you feel there's like anger, resentment, bitterness towards somebody, or just like loss or hurt. So sitting with that, looking into that, and seeing how much you can, when you're ready with meditation and shamanic work, to see that person for who they truly are. Or if somebody still is in your life now and you're feeling separated, can you just spend some time really looking at them, really seeing them for who they are? And it could be with yourself as well. Maybe your inner demons, the ones that tell you and push you, that say, you're not understood, or you're alone on this, or, these negative thoughts. So this card may be encouraging you to look at the bigger picture of a close relationship. A perceived challenge may be an illusion or a projection. Yeah, I think that's really important. A perceived challenge, something that you see as a challenge or a failure, might be in your head too. Maybe it's not a failure. Maybe it's a blessing that it didn't go the way you had originally hoped. This card may relate to family, teamwork, community, and ways you can harmonize dissonance for deeper growth. The bonds you share give you the power to transmute your fears. Put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out. That's always good advice. There may also be a life-changing connection on the horizon. Okay, so overall, this has been a lovely journey of feeling intense and edgy and feeling some failure and disappointment, and then shifting that through vulnerability, through positive self-talk, through meditation, through simple shamanic work that can feel like an intimidating word, but really it's just calling your energy back, releasing energy that doesn't belong to you. And that's one piece of shamanic work that I feel called to recommend. And then landing in grounded, evolved abundance so that you can have your fire and your earth and your healing and your sparks of inspiration. So I hope that was helpful to you. Many blessings on your day. Take care. Bye, Pile 3.